Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be building a quadcopter, which is the frame is going to be from Moka. It's called the Simplex, and I was very excited for this one because it weighs 72 grams and it's just insane. It's a mixture of foam and carbon fiber, and it's 4mm thick all around, so that's pretty sweet. So I've measured in most of my components, and in theory we should have it be below 250 grams, and that is the target, and that is what we're trying to achieve here. For motors, what I'm going to be using are the Brother Hobby R4. However, these are the 2700 kV. I believe these just came out. They had the 2600, but this is the 2700 kV. So this is just going to be absolutely insane. Hopefully it stays light, and we can take full advantage of these guys. And as you can see, the motor wires are just going to be perfect. Look how long they are. So that's perfect for us. For camera, we're going to be using the Foxeer Chinese clone. I really do love this, and I do recommend it. I've never had a problem with one of these. They just work beautiful. They work just like the Foxeer, so I really do like these, and I'll be using it on this build. Receiver, we're going to be using an XM Plus to reduce weight, and it's going to be pretty sweet. So we're going to be using S-Bus. We're going to add a low ESR capacitor because I've needed it before on this guy, and so we're going to do that right away from the beginning. And this one we've tested on the channel before, and I am about to place it on this guy, so it's going to be pretty sweet. So yeah, so let me take out the part. Oh yeah, just something to note. I don't know if you guys seen my previous video where I talked about these. I really do recommend these. I just ordered another set to keep one in my backpack for when I go out, and one just stay in the house, because they're beautiful, really. They don't strip they haven't stripped any of my screws here. As you can see, just beautiful. I'm in love, because usually I just end up stripping these with my regular Allen keys and these other ones that I bought. So this is just absolutely insane. I really do like this, and I really do recommend them, and I'll leave a link in the description below for these. So yeah, let me take the frame apart here, and let's set up the Asgard, and we'll take it from there. Alright guys, before we begin, we have to prepare the pads and see what we need, because the receiver part is going to be on the other side of the board, so we might as well just prepare that now before setting it inside the frame here. Alright, so our board's going to go inside the frame just like this. I had to set a yaw degree offset of 90 because for some reason the gyro is like this. This is the correct way, and what I have done is to have it be installed just like this. I needed to add 90. As you can see, motor 1, 2, 3, 4, so that'll also be perfect in the wiring. So let's just prepare the pads. I have these pads kind of prepared when I was doing the testing, the noise testing on this guy. So I'll just retouch those here. Make them nice and shiny again. Alright, so those pads are all done, because we're going to be soldering them here. Now let's take a look at the board. Now let's just flip it this way, like this. And as you can see here, we have TX6 and RX6, and that's where S-Bus is. And we could route it anywhere we want, really, with the soft serial and the new updates and stuff. So what I'm going to start off by doing is actually removing these annoying connectors, because we don't need them. And I'm not going to be using them anytime soon. So you just get yourself some pliers and just rip them off. Just be very careful though, not to hit other components while you do it. And this is a very bad pliers, just give me a moment. Alright, so just grab this guy here. You have to be very careful not to touch anything else. As you can see, we removed that one. Just be very careful, this one's a little bit stubborn. There we go. And there we go, so that's good, that's awesome. So what we need is, we have, the bottom one is ground, 5 volt, and then we need RX6 for S-Bus. So, and I believe there's a way to route TX6 to soft serial, and we can even do telemetry, but I'm using an XM Plus, so I don't have telemetry. There we go. So that's all three. Just touch these again. Alright. Perfect. So what are those again? Those are 5 volt and ground, so there's 5 volt also in ground. Ground is always the bottom. So what I'm going to do now, since this is going to be on the opposite side, is I'm actually going to solder in the receiver now, which would be a lot easier for us. Alright guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to solder them towards the inside so they don't pop out of the frame. So we're going to do this just like that. So let's just actually zoom in here for you guys just to be a little bit better to see. Alright, so the bottom one here is ground. So we're going to take ground here, which is the black wire. So let me just spin them. And we are going to be connecting S-Bus. We're going to be running the XM Plus, which is FR Sky. And to be honest, I am slowly but surely transitioning from my my Turnigy Evolution. I just noticed that just the extra throttle resolution and it just really makes a huge difference now for me. So I'm really starting to love my QX7 a lot more than my Turnigy. This wire was a bit too long here. It's fine. Alright, so there we go. Now we're gonna get this guy, which is 5 volt. Okay. And then signal, which is RX6, so this would be serial RX for UART6 installed here. Come on, focus for you guys. It's very difficult for me to solder on camera, so if I don't do a good job, don't eat me in the comments section. Alright, so that should be good for our receiver. So ground 5 volt, and this was RX6, so this is receive 6, which is UART6. That's awesome. And up here we have TX1, RX1 and TX1 5 volt and ground, the 2 soldered area. So we're done here. So as you can see right there. Alright, let's just zoom out now. Alright. Let's do the camera, because the camera would just get the wire. Alright. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop off these connectors because they're very annoying and there's no need for them. Okay. And there we go. That's it. So let's just add solder on the pads here. Make sure the tip is clean. I know some people hate that I use this soldering tip, but that's it. I just love it now. I'm used to working with it, so it's working out great for me. Alright. So what do we have here? We have ground, video out. So video out would go to your VTX. So we'll ground our VTX from here and give it video out from here. And then we have ground and video in. Alright, so let's just do it. Oh no, wait, I have it opposite. Wait just a moment. Alright, so let's just do it like this so I just don't mess up anything. Alright, so I was wrong here. So this would be ground, the bottom one. And then it's video out. And then it's ground, and then it's video in. So we have the camera wires here now. Where are they? They're right here. And I am going to trim them a tiny bit. They're a bit long. Alright. And we're going to solder them going inwards and not outwards because it'll keep them tucked into the frame here. So if we flip it back this way, and yeah, alright. So this would be ground, and this is video out, and this is ground, and video in. We also need a 5 volt for the camera. So actually we're going to take 5 volt from down here for the camera actually, because I completely forgot about the camera. So let's just do that now. Alright, so it's going to be ground and then 5 volt here. And these are, I think we're going to solder these going outwards. Let's just zoom in here. Alright. So in theory this should be ground. Okay. And then we have 5 volt. Alright, that's good. So that's not going to be touching anything. Then we're going to have to come out here, come back up here, and just give it the video in, which is going to be okay, so it's ground video out, ground video in. Video in is this one right there. So yeah, alright. Let's just fix the tip of the wire here because I really don't like it. Alright, there we go. So it's the fourth one up here, which is that one. We should add some solder to that actually. Okay. So the wire could soak up some of it. Alright, that's good. So here we're done with wiring our receiver and our camera, and now we need to get our VTX. So for VTX, I'm actually using the TX801. This is a new one, and it's just like $2 more expensive than the one I usually use. Is the cheap one. It's the TX526, I think. However, this one's a little bit more awesome, just because it has some silicone or fake silicone. I don't know, but it's silicone, so that's just sweet. I really do like this, and it's very good. And it also has a microphone, pit mode, and a bunch of things just for $2 extra. So this is pretty sweet. I'm really gonna try this out and see if it's any good. And it's selectable like crazy, really. You have pit mode, 5, 25, 50, 100, 200, 400, 600 milliwatts, 72 race band, microphone, pit mode, and supposedly they don't interfere. I know the other one that I use interferes, but I don't fly with any human beings, so I'm totally fine in that perspective there. Alright, so let's just undo this. We actually don't need this just yet, and they're pretty clearly labeled here, so we should be fine. And I believe it even has a 5-volt regulator, because here it says, look, 5 volt output. Isn't that sweet? So that just $2 extra, you get all these functions, and it's just crazy. Okay, so what do we need here? Let's just double check the wiring diagram or the wiring layout. So we're gonna put them like this and take a look here. So these two are gonna be from power, so we're gonna give them power. And all we need is video is the yellow line, and we don't need the other two. So the other two we don't need. Alright, so we just need video. Let's actually cut them off now. Where is the... there it is. So alright, perfect. And here I'm just going to cut it like this. And these wires, don't throw these away if they're silicone. These do come in handy, trust me. I usually keep them. That's never failed me before. So, alright, so let's just undo this. I don't know how far our VTX is going to be, but I believe about this much should be more than enough for anything. So, let's just cut that there. Alright, so what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to ground the video right here, right below the video. So let me just show you here. I'm going to ground it next to this area because I believe they're all connected in the same area there. And we're going to take the positive from the rail right there, and that should be good. So let's see. Perfect, yeah, as you can see. Perfect. And our video. Awesome. So they seem silicone. That's good. And I'm going to try to wrap these guys together here. Just like how the positive is wrapped with the negative there. It always keeps it kind of clean. Alright, so let's just put solder on these. Alright, so I prepared the wires just so we can reduce as much time as possible here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually solder these on the inside like this. So I know for sure it's ground and then video out. So this is going to be ground, and this is going to be video out right here. So let's just solder this guy there, and I'm actually going to spin him again here because it's easier for me to solder that way. So there we go. Alright. So I know this is ground. Should add a little solder on the tip. Okay, that's good. And let's get the video out, which will be right there. Alright, that's good. Now what's left here is to give it power. So maybe we have VBAT somewhere on one of these little tiny pads here. And we can just hijack one of those instead of going all the way to the battery. But I doubt there is. Anyways, that's totally fine. We're just gonna solder that right there on the side, and that'll be for our VTX. So it should be pretty simple and pretty easy. Let's just do that now. Alright, that's it. So in theory this should be all perfect, and all we need is a low ESR capacitor, and I don't know if I should do that just now or extend it. We'll see it later on. So I actually I want to try something new. So as you can see here, it's what is it called, soft mounted, but I actually did some kind of double soft mountation. See, these and these. So I'm just curious how that would be. Maybe it'll be like the best thing ever, or maybe it'll just be pointless and retarded, but it could be one of the smoothest quads I've ever flown in my life. So we're gonna try that out. Hopefully it's pretty sweet. So yeah. Alright, so let's put this guy on now. And really all we need to do is just solder the motors and the low ESR capacitor, and I think we're done. Yeah, and we just put it together and we're done. That was the quickest, fastest build ever, which is pretty sweet. Alright, so alright, let's just secure it in place with just anything really right now. There we go. Just secure a little bit here and a little bit here. By the way, guys, I found these to be the best in quality. They're called Suit. I'll leave a link to them. I know they're the best quality because they don't break that easy. Another thing is just grabbing two threads, they can grab very well. Others will just strip out and just pop out right when you take it out. We're just trying to put a battery strap through the other side. So those are very good, and I do highly recommend them. From my personal experience, they're a little bit like $1 more expensive than the cheaper ones, but they're a must-have. So I'll leave a link to those down in the description. These are very important. And yeah, so let me just see what's our next step, figure it out, and I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, so let me show you what I just done, and I figured out the best way to do this because it's a bit difficult. This frame was not designed to have a 4-in-1 ESC, as I believe, and I'll show you why right now. So as you can see here, I got some heat shrink, and I've heat shrunk it, just keep it clean so we could tape it when we need. And you see these little 2 extra pieces. Now why would I put 2 little extra pieces there? Well, this is the mark to where this should be tucked in, and every time if I ever needed to take it apart, I wouldn't have to worry about the wires getting cut by this, because look at that. Let me show you. That will keep it together there, and that's it. It'll just be good, as you can see right there. So you just calculated it just right, so I don't have to worry about this, because there's no other way to run it to the ESC or the Asgard right here. So that's how they're gonna be right here, and then this guys will just come up and just solder like that. However, I don't know how much clearance we have from the camera, but this must stay here. So this line, this heat shrink right there should stay there. And the color of the heat shrink I just chose, you know, Christmas is coming, and this could possibly be our Christmas quad. We'll formal coat this and take it out in the snow and hopefully enjoy it, and hopefully it'll last us till then. So that's gonna be pretty fun, pretty interesting. Alright, so let's begin. Let me prepare the soldering station now and see. However, you see this? I didn't keep them I didn't shrink it too much, so I can actually play with it, because you might need to every once in a while. You just never know what's gonna happen. So that'll just keep it right there, perfect for me. So that's very good here. So let me just prepare the soldering station. We're gonna solder the first 2 wires, and then we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do to the back part, because it's a bit different. So let me prepare everything and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so what I'm planning on doing right now is I'm going to take, it doesn't matter which one we take, because we can access BL Heli and we're just going to be fine. So I'm just going to route it like this. Here's one. I'm just going to grab the other one and route it like this, and then the third, and route it like that. And that should be very good and clean. It should leave us clearance for the camera. However, I should actually really check that before going forward with this, because we might have issues. Hopefully not. I don't think we will though. So let's just see, what kind of clearance can we expect? I think we'll be fine. So let me just actually plug in the camera just to double check everything. Alright guys, so it will fit, but we're gonna do something a bit different, because sometimes to freestyle I like to drop my camera down. Not lately, I've not been always going super fast, just because I'm trying to take care of my batteries. So I don't want to risk, well, it's not really risk, I'd really prefer to have full coverage. So I just got the perfect idea. Lately I've been getting these micros, and these Chinese manufacturers are doing something pretty awesome actually, and I think this is going to be our first time to actually try it. What they do is they solder them on the back here. So when we flip it, well, which way would it be? Okay, so we would actually solder it here. We would solder them like this, and then just bring it somehow, and then just drop that in. I think that would be pretty sweet. Or should we just stick to the regular old route and just make it super clean? Let's just try to go super clean with it. Let's just not risk it, because on the bottom side those components look pretty close, and the way we're going to be soldering it isn't going to be the most comfortable. So, but that's a pretty sweet idea. Maybe next time we'll try it. Alright, so let's get this perfect. So let's just start with this one, and I want to kind of push it back a little, but not too much. Let's see. Right there is perfect, I believe, for me. Yeah, that's perfect. Maybe should we go here first, and then bring these guys in through. Yeah, I think we should do that. So we're gonna start with this guy right there. So I'm gonna cut him exactly right here. Perfect. I'm just gonna trim a little tiny bit. Try to get this on camera for you guys. There we go, a little bit more. Alright. Add a bit of solder. Move him away from your components when you're adding solder to these, because it can jump inside your motors and just be a nightmare, and you'll never know the problem. I don't know what kind of wires they're using, but I was holding it right here and it instantly just became super hot. That was crazy. So we're gonna trim some of this guy off. There we go. So what do we say, like this, and then we're just gonna have them be super clean like that. So let's see if small weak tweezers can actually hold them in place while we do that. If not, we're gonna need our hemostats. I think that's gonna be sweet. So that's how we're gonna hit it. So let's just do that now. Sweet. So we got our first wire in. Good. We could tuck it in. So that's nice. That's very good. Very pleased with the first one. Let's take the next one. And we're gonna need to bring it on the inside here. These guys. Alright. So this would be like this. Now the next guy, which is this guy. And we're gonna bring him in like so. So we're gonna cut it exactly right here. Do the same process. Damn it. Let's bring them out here. Make sure we don't want any solder to splash anywhere. Perfect. Let's trim a little bit off of this guy. Right there. Alright. And we're going to do the same process. Little tweezer is doing very well. So. Okay. Everything seems aligned. Sorry, I was trying to get you guys to focus here, and it slipped. There we go. God dang it. Perfect. Alright. Now we need the last one here. So I'll add a little bit of solder. Alright. And as you can see, it's looping through here, through them a bit, which is good, so it keeps it clean. And then we're just gonna hit it right there. So I'm gonna need to cut right here. So far it's going good actually. I'm very pleased. But the backside is going to be a bit of a pain. I'm going to skip over the next motor because it's going to be the same process. But when I come back, we'll be doing the back motors, and those are going to be a bit challenging. So I don't think there's many people out there that built this frame on YouTube, not in real life. So let's actually make sure it's routing correctly, because we don't want to have it not route correctly later because of the way we soldered it on. Alright. It's perfect right there. I love that sound. Perfect. So that is perfect now. So let's take a look at it. So it's going to be very beautiful like this, because check this out now. So here's the camera, and if we insert it, and this has to be a little bit up here, and if we insert it, you see, this is just keeps everything tucked in, it's not touching, see? So that's just pretty sweet. This way it's well thought out and we don't run into problems. And trust me, the last thing you want to do is try to clear up wires when you're taking it out in the field. It's the most annoying thing, and it could lead to a lot of problems. So that's just something to take note of. Alright, so I'm going to skip over the next motors here. It's going to be the same process. So I'm going to do the same exact thing on this side, and then we're going to come back and do the top motors, because they're going to be up top, and then we're going to see how we're going to route them. So let me get this done with, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so it came out very beautiful. So we just finished the front here, and it's very nice actually. I'm very pleased with it and very happy with it. So it's very good. I really do like it, and now all we have to do is set up the upper plate here with the back arms, and we're gonna see how we're gonna route this, because I have no idea. Now what some people do is some people actually put them on the bottom, but we're not going to put them on the bottom. I don't want to put them on the bottom. I don't like that. We're going to put them on top, and I believe they're supposed to be on top, and it's better for the airflow to the back motors. So it's looking pretty sweet though. I have this color thingy that we're going to color the frame green here. It'll just look insane. So alright, so I'm just going to put the motors up here and then just figure out how we're going to route it, instead of me sitting here for 1 hour saying yes, no, and then we'll come back and we'll start the process, and I'll show you which way I think is best. And yeah, so give me a moment, I'll be right back guys. Alright guys, so what did I do here? I've set up the motors, put Loctite and all that kind of good stuff, and just gave myself basically a reference with these little two, and at the same time keeping it nice and tidy. So what we're going to do is, this is a bit tricky, very tricky actually. So what I'm planning on doing is actually setting it up, soldering it like this, holding it together like that, and then here we have this side. So in theory, then we can always do this, and then if we wanted to bring it back up, we just put them through and together like that. And I think that is the best way to do it. So that's how I'm going to do it. We're going to do one together, and then I'm going to skip the other, because it's going to be very difficult to do on camera, and making sure I have everything correct here. So yeah, so just double checking that I could flip it. Perfect. Okay, and perfect. So alright, so this is going to be here. I'm going to cut these right there. This one's a bit tricky. I mean, it's not for your average, or or beginner at least. But if you're a beginner and you did this frame, then basically you can do any frame you want, because this one is a bit challenging. It takes some thought and some planning, because you could have it super perfect, but if it's not easily accessible when you have a problem in the field, then yeah, you're not gonna have a good day. So there we go. Alright, so let's unsolder these guys right here. So I'm waiting up for the solder station to get ready here. And should be ready. There we go. Alright, so we need to outsolder these guys. Just double checking you guys can see everything. I should have cleaned the tip better. It's alright. Just cut that off. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Perfect, there we go. And this is the tricky part. So I'm sorry if the camera angle is not going to be perfect, if I can't make it perfect, because it's not that easy. So here, let's just double check. Let's do it like this. So we're gonna do this one here. Okay. And I'm going to bring my hemostats this time, because because it'll make my life easier. Alright, so let me see if I can do this for you guys also. Right there, it's moving. Alright, grab this guy. We need to put solder on the tip here because it's basically dead. There we go. Okay, you guys can see it's gonna be, I can't apply too much pressure here or I'll move it out of the way completely. Okay, that should be good. It seems good. Double check we could reach, all of them can reach, and if we can actually, yep, we're gonna be totally fine so far. So I think this is a good method here, but if anyone else has another idea that's better. I was thinking of bullet connectors, but that's just gonna add more weight. By the way, I just weighed it right now with all the stuff, and yeah, I think it's gonna be a good one, hopefully. Perfect. Crap, everything's moving. This one's gonna be terrible, so I'm gonna have to redo it after the... Yeah, I'm gonna redo this one. Alright, well, so far it's good here. I'm gonna redo most of them here right now when I do the other side. So as you can see right there, it's perfect. We will need to figure out just another route to make it a little bit cleaner here because it pops up, but that's fine. When we tape it, it'll be totally fine here. So we just put it into place. Oh, it just fits perfect, really. So that's just sweet. And then if we wanted to access, we just lift it up. Perfect. I'm very satisfied. So let me fix this up, add the other one, and then we'll come back and see what's the next step. Alright guys, so it's basically almost done now. We just need to add the VTX here, and it's going to increase weight. This is around 233 grams so far, and if we used lighter screws down here, then we should drop some weight, and yeah, so it's going to be around 255, I believe, 255 grams. I'm still happy with it. I wanted 250, but that's totally fine. So right now we're even going to add this piece right here. It's going to add some weight, but it's going to make our life better, so it's okay, a couple grams here and there, but overall this is going to be under 260 grams, so that's going to be very good. I'm very happy, very, very happy. I'm very excited for this. This is going to be just a screamer. We're going to do some nice little final touches to it also. So let's see, so it doesn't matter which way we do this. So we want at least one zip tie. We want the antennas to be alright. So right here. Yeah, that's fine. This double-sided tape is unbelievable. Once it dries, it's almost impossible to remove sometimes. So we need zip ties. Will also add some weight, but we need them. So let's just get a zip tie here. And I'd never tighten these too tight because you could rip off components, and I've done that before. So what I like to do is just enough to just, if something were to happen to the tape, it kind of holds it in place, and it just doesn't fly off anywhere. It's not supposed to. Just, that's more than enough. I don't want to pressure it anymore. It's good. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side here. Alright. This is going to add a couple grams also, but that's fine. I've lost a VTX the other day. Crashed into a tree and it just ripped my VTX out. so I don't want that happening again. So basically this is our VTX now, and how do we add this in? So let me show you. So right here, let's remove these two screws. There's one, and here's two. Okay, so what you want to do is, where's the front? So this is our front here, camera, and these are our standoffs. So what we're going to do is we're just going to insert it like this through the standoffs here, and it'll just go in and it'll hold very nice, just like that. And you got yourself a VTX. Now what's so cool about this is also you can drop it low so the top propellers don't hit it, which is pretty sweet, but we're just going to keep it high for now. And what we can do actually is drop it even lower and add this guy with it. So let's just take a look here. Alright, let's just double check these screws are all tightened down before we finalize it here. And I think I am going to add a low ESR capacitor. I think we should actually even do that now. So here's one. It's a 1000. I did it on the previous Asgard, and I had no issues. So these are noisy motors, I know for sure. And I think we should actually add this guy. Yeah, we should. So we are going to add him. Just like this will be fine. He's not going to get in the way of anything. None of these propellers could reach him. Yeah. Alright. So give me a moment. Let me do that because it's going to be very annoying to watch me do this. Alright guys, so we are basically done. I soldered the capacitor. Used double-sided tape to hold the receiver right up here. And we're going to just tape the antennas below the arms here, and we should be good. So let's get the weight, because that's so important to me right now. And I have not weighed it in just yet when it's all complete like this with all the screws in. 1 gram under 260. So I mean, that's good. If we remove one screw from each motor, so we'd have two holding them in place, we could reduce some. And that double-sided tape and the VTX, if we find another way to mount it, we could reduce a couple weight. So we could drop it down to 250 if we wanted to. So it's 259, 260. I really have to get a better scale. Anyways, it was 259. I'm going to stay on 259 now. So what I'm planning on doing right now real quick is I'm actually going to color this green, this white part, and I think it'll look pretty damn sexy. So I'm going to do a quick test run and see how it looks. If I like it, then I'm going to do it all over, and we come back and we check it out and see the final result. And hopefully, I'm not saying tomorrow, but maybe after tomorrow we take it out for a flight, and it'll be pretty interesting. However, I do see something that might happen. The motor wires are very close to the VTX, so we might get noise that we can't solve until we move this around. So that's just something to note here. We'll figure it out as we go, and it'll become more clear to us as we go on now. Alright, so let me just try to color it up here and see if it was nice. If it's not nice, then we're just going to take one last look at it and call it a day. And yeah, so let me get that done with, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so he is complete now, and it's like, what, 4 in the morning. So it's looking pretty sweet. It's actually pretty light as well. We could have hit 250, but we hit around 258, but I could still do it if I wanted to. I could just change out a couple parts and we can be well below 250 if we wanted to. So, but right now I just kept it, I didn't even zero it out. Okay, I didn't wait. Alright. So just check its weight again. It's like 258, sometimes it says 260. I've got it to say 258. Well, 259. I'm going to stay with 259 here. So let me just quickly go over what I did here. So this one's actually going to be pretty sweet. I'm really going to go try to fly it tomorrow. I need to add some tape to hold this in place so they don't get ripped. And for the antennas, I'm also going to tape them under the arms here. This way they'll be protected, and it works best, I find. Low ASR capacitor, I colored the sides instead of white to green, so it looks pretty sweet. It has like a whole Christmas theme going on here. So maybe the next one will be like a pumpkin Halloween theme going on. So that'll be pretty sweet. Overall, I really do love it. Look how clean this stack is. It's just one stack and it's double soft mounted. But you know what I would want to do is, look, check this out. So when I move this, the whole Asgard moves. See that? So I'll probably drill 2 new holes just up farther, and then that'll solve my issue there. So that'll be pretty good. VTX is mounted. That's these double-sided tape. It's pretty sweet. It's gonna be pretty crazy. So yeah. I really do hope it flies better than this guy, because this guy, even with that bent prop, was just insane. So this guy is going to be possibly even more insane, maybe, I don't know. But this one's flight characteristics was beautiful. I can tell, even though it had oscillations, it was very good. But we're going to be flying them together on the next day, and then we could actually compare. So yeah, well, this is going to be very interesting. So it's like 258 grams, and we'll try to reduce this as time goes on the channel if we don't break it. And well, that's all I could really say right now. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys have any questions or any suggestions, feel free to let me know, and I will see you next time. See you guys, take care.